And do you want to record as well?
Dave. Look at him looking. He's so short.
Lucretia Hughes. Did I say your name right, Lucretia?
Yes, you did, Lucretia Hughes.
Okay. Lucretia Hughes is here with me today, and I'm so happy to have you on Patriots Perspective, Lucretia, because I saw your video. And by the way, everybody, if you haven't already seen Lucretia's video, she can lay it on the line. And I said, you know what? There's a girl, she knows exactly what she's talking about. And I want to interview you, Lucretia, on Georgia elections, because I have so many family members in Georgia, so many friends in Georgia, and I'll ask them questions and they have no idea even what's going on.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So tell us what you think is going on with the Georgia elections right now.
Right now with the Georgia election, you have people like Candace Taylor, you have people on the front line that's asking for a forensic audit. And that's one thing that they're focused on. You have a group called Voter Georgia, or Voter GA, that's Garland Favorino, that's bipartisan people from the Independent Party, the Green Party, the Republican Party, that has taken lead of the mishap that we call the federal election of 2020. So not only did myself, my husband, but along with 42 other individual citizens of the United States, we decided to petition the federal grand jury against our civil rights being taken just for criminal investigation, because we think fraud happened in the 2020 election.
And Lucretia, you just mentioned your federal rights and what citizens can do, because I feel like a lot of citizens have no clue of what they can do. They're just kind of sitting back and, waiting on someone to save them. Some people are waiting on Donald Trump to save them. They're waiting on Lynn Wood to save them, or Sidney Powell to save them, or General Flynn to save them, when the actuality is all of those talking heads that we just mentioned, which are awesome patriot people, they're sitting there telling us to get involved, which you and your husband have done.
Yes.
So tell us what you would recommend that every citizen, especially the citizens of Georgia, and even me in Florida, what would you recommend that we do, and how do we get started in the process?
Pay attention. That's one thing you can do. Actually pay attention, because sooner or later, as it's the saying, enough is enough. Sooner or later, you're going to get fed up. I don't know what the breaking point of that individual person's life is. I don't know if it's the over taxes. I don't know if it's the high gas prices. I don't know if it's the stack 'em and pack 'ems. I don't know if it's the new world order. But sooner or later, you have to pay attention. And once you do, find out what this is. This founding document that just a group of farmers and doctors decided to stand up for your rights. And this is what our foundation is, and our Judeo-Christian values. So when you see that you have had enough, start standing up, getting vocal, and fighting back.
That's exactly right, Lucretia. I definitely agree with you 110%. So many people do not know their constitutional rights. They are bowing down like puppets when it comes to, oh, just stick of this in my arm, just let me do.
I said, nope, no jabs for me. I hope I said it twice. No, we said you have to say it 3 times. No.
Yeah. No. Well, why would you, my mom brings a point regarding that. Okay. And I'm trying to avoid saying that too much so that we can stay on Facebook and YouTube. But she makes a great point. She traveled all over the world with my grandfather, who was in the State Department, and went to Africa, lived in Thailand. And guess what? Not everybody there had that, but she got that because, that is supposed to keep you from getting anything. Well, this one doesn't do that, people. No. And we all need to know that. And if you have any questions, or if your boss or anybody is asking you to get that, you simply mention the Nuremberg Code in a letter to them, and you advise them that they are breaking all 10 points of the Nuremberg Code. And I highly recommend that everybody make sure that they know the Nuremberg Code and they understand their rights that's in our Constitution.
It's like this. We're all grown. We all have individual free will. I don't have to explain to you, and I don't nobody need a virtual signal to me that I'm supposed to bow down, required to obey any man, because it's called faith over fear. And being on this earth for 47 years, the day you was born is a day that he would timed you to die. And not even Dr. Fructose corn syrup or fake it Fauci could stop that. So be ready for the angel of death. Just hope in the world that you belong and believe in John 3:16, faith over fear.
Amen, sister. And I highly recommend that everybody read Revelation 6 and Revelation 13. We are definitely in those times.
Don't forget my Matthew 24 and 25 too.
Yes, and Exodus 4:20. So break out your Bibles, people. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about where all of this comes from and why is that so important? Why is the election so important? And where did it all really start? So we have to look at Georgia for a lot of different things, okay? Number one, before I go into the really important thing, is where did the economic system of this country start? Do we know? Jekyll Island, Georgia. So I highly recommend that everybody look up where in Jekyll Island, which is basically a marshlands on swamps. They build everything on the swamp, by the way, because then they have some form of immunity because they don't have to claim.
You know where we just had our GOP state convention, right?
Where?
Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Because you know what? They get, it's not diplomatic immunity. Sorry, guys. It's not diplomatic immunity. It is, oh gosh, my brain just left. It is a maritime law. So because they're on water, they go on maritime law. Think about it. When you go to the cruise ship, you can get so far out and you could be so much on water before you hit maritime law. Let's think about where the big Covey, where it actually started really big time. Does anybody know? Venice, Italy. Venice, Italy is sitting on nothing but water. And guess where all of our mortgages and much of our loan documents are held? In Venice, Italy, because there's maritime law. But we won't go into all of that today, sister, because we got a lot to cover about Georgia. And I want to make this all about Georgia as much as possible today, because my family and friends, man, they need to wake up. And I'm like, you know what? There's nobody better to help them wake up than maybe me and you. Okay, let's talk about the Georgia Guidestones. Does anybody know what the Georgia Guidestones are? I bet you do, Lucretia.
Yes, the Georgia Guidestones, without even looking at it, is a Stonehenge type monument in Ebert County, Georgia, in the middle of nowhere, small town America. It was erected in 1980. It's on the Travel Channel. It's on the Travel Channel. It's on the Travel Channel. Go look at these documentaries by a secret society that way you can even not drive up into the driveway without cameras looking at everything you have. So that is the 10 commandments of the New World Order. It's basically giving you 10 ideas of what the elite of the elite has in store for America. Like I said, no one knows who gave this money to that banker. No one knows who went to those rock quarries, and no one knows what's underneath that ground. So if you've never heard of the Georgia Guidestones, it is written in 9 different languages and 10 of their commandments. So in a nutshell, just be careful.
And what is on there?
Okay, you look, I got that up. I didn't even know you was going to ask me.
Yeah. Oh, sister, I am asking you. And listen, if you want to share screen, hold on, let me give you permission to share screen, because I think everybody, let me tell you, I think everybody needs to see this, and I don't think they're going to go look it up for themselves. We're going to have to do it for them.
Now, what page are you on? Because I'm just going to read off the one that I have up.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, number 1 of the 10 commandments for the New World Order. I love the way it just brings up. Okay, keep going. It says maintain humanity under 500 million. I'm sorry, that's called population control. Population control. Population control. Just think about it. It says guide a reproduction wisely. Planned Parenthood, genocide. We could go on to the Tuskegee experiments, but I digress. express. Okay, then it says unite humanity with a new living language. First, learn what the Bible is, and the language is already there. There's nothing new under the sun. Keep going. It says rule, passion, faith, and tradition, and all things with tempered reasons. What I don't see that happening either the UN or even often under our own capital. So let's keep going to the next one. I will. It says protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. What? You just said the Nuremberg. But just what? Is that why they was trying to take President Donald Trump to the Hague? Because you got the Taliban and the squad up there talking about that he broke somebody's law with that's a whole nother one too. We're gonna keep going. And I don't know what just downrate you.
When did this happen? Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I was getting good. Let's see. Let me get out of there, and we're gonna leave this meeting because you can't see me anyway. It says, let all nations rule eternally, resolving external disputes in a world court. That's in the Hague, people. The world court is in the Hague. That is one of the 45 rules of communist goals, which is rule 45, that when all of the free people within that country, before we decide to rule for ourselves, we need to take our laws internally, domestic laws, to the world court so they can have more jurisdiction, not only over our government, but individuals alike. 45 rules of communist goals read into congressional record in 1963 by Albert Shalom of Florida. I'm gonna keep going back over here.
Yep. Keep
Number
going.
7.
Keep going. You got
avoid petty laws and useless officials. What else? 530 people. We'll have to take Marjorie Taylor Greene out. You know, she's in an island by herself. So where them other ones come from? How they ruling over 328 million? Here we go. It says balance. It says balance personal rights with social duties. I'm sorry. I have private property. I don't want to stack them and pack them next door. Right. There's a reason why I want my property values to rise, and I got out the hood in the first place. Don't bring hood to suburbia or out here in the rural sticks. We don't need that. I know the
it's the reason I left my trailer. Okay,
we can't do that. It says 9. Prize truth, beauty, love, seek harmony with the infinite. There's only one infinite. His name is God Almighty, Yahweh. That's his name. And he gave his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for my sins. She went there. Yes, I did. Let's keep going. Number 10, the last one. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. And while you at it, go ahead and dig up an egg, do some DNA, and get ready to ride on the back of a pterodactyl, because you know they plugging up cow booty holes. It's called the Green New Deal.
That's exactly right, sister. Yeah, they're trying so hard, and so few people in Congress, Republican and Democrat, they're just like letting this money go through. We have to look and see who votes for what. That's another thing we can look at, and we're going to start to cover here. So
that's vetting. Teach people how to vet a person. Right. These politicians, it's not how big their molars are. It's not how big they can shout and go, rah! No, it's called voting. You look at their campaign contributions. You look at their voting records. You look at the people that they hang with. And if they can't answer the basic questions for you, and you're tired of a 20-80, then get an 80 person that you may not completely align with, but y'all are so much equally yoked that you won't have no problems.
That's exactly right. And the other thing to look out for is to see who they're actually getting their money from and how long they have lived in your area, because you really need to know somebody that's lived in your area for a really long time. And that's the reason. What's this Candace chick's name that's running? Because I saw a video with her and I really like her because she's been there.
What state?
Candace, your state.
Oh, Candace Taylor is her name.
Candace Taylor. Do you like her?
Yes, I already gave her my stipulations of what it would take for me to even endorse her, because I take this serious. This is not a fly by night for me. So this is what I asked her to do. Since you're running for governor of Georgia, I need 5 key policies that you want to see implemented for the constituents, regardless of what party affiliation they are, because you got to work with us all. Okay. Number 2, you're going to be part of a national organization when it comes to the governors. I need to know what you planning on doing and how you planning on chipping in and implementing the policies that are betterment for the whole United States, because there is a governors an association. And then since governors have to talk internationally, and it is a global society to a point, then I'm going to need to have at least 2 things that you are willing to do and talk to these people in a whole another country. So she needs to come up with 12 different key policies that is going to make me want to back her or anyone else running for governor, because I'm a red state. And I want to keep my country red. And I don't care about some money hungry, used to be Democrat, or a guy that can't tell me the truth.
Exactly. Amen. Amen. So what's the next one, sis?
What?
Well, and there one more?
I don't know. My mind runs a mile a minute. What was the question?
Guidestones. Are we finished with the Guidestones?
Yes. You know what? You could go see it yourself. It's on public property. I mean, it's free to go up in there, but I'm telling you.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about how big it is? Because I mean, if they haven't watched the documentary already, because it's my understanding that these things cost like millions of dollars.
It's on an acre of land. I put it like this: it's a 2-lane highway in the middle of the country. I mean, country. I'm boondocks
People don't
of the
know that
country.
they're there. People in Georgia think that they're not real and they're not
You
there.
just go up a 2-lane road and you clear woods, and then there's nothing but just grass. And up on the hill of the highest point of Everett County, Georgia, you have the Georgia Guidestone at the highest point of that county. You can't miss it. It's up to people to do their own research. I've done a video on it. I've been there 3 times. I'm on somebody's watch list because they record you when you step on that ground. So I'm just
you make sure that you put the video link to your video where you did the whole thing on it. Will you make sure you put that in the comments for people to go see?
Yes, actually, okay. Dave.
Yeah, Dave, come on, Dave.
All you gotta do is go on my Facebook page, type in Georgia Guidestone video, and boom, I think it got like 250,000 views. So
please share this, people, because this is real. Somebody spent a lot of money. I watched a video with the banker who actually took the money to build the Georgia Guidestones. And I mean, it's a lot of money. I forget exactly how much. And they had to do like something special to like erect these things. It would cost so much to even have them removed. They kind of tell all of this in one of the videos. And of course, what they try to do is in these videos, the one thing you have to watch out for, anything with mainstream media, they're going to tell you about them, but they're going to pretty much make it like it's a conspiracy theory afterwards, because they know they can't ignore it, because they have to tell you what to do. And everything that they call a conspiracy theory is basically meaning they're trying to brainwash you into believing something else that they're actually doing. Okay, this started with JFK, or not really started with JFK, but it was started to be used quite a bit with the FBI and JFK upon JFK's death, which that's a whole nother subject. We will not go into there. Okay, what about Miss Ruby Freeman? Have you heard from her? Has anybody in Georgia heard from her in a while?
No, we have not heard from her. Well, I haven't heard from her or anything about her since Rudy Giuliani during the Judiciary Committee meeting pulled that video, shocking video out, and we saw all of the suitcases and things coming off and under the table. So no, I hope, like I said, I don't want to speculate on that because there's so many moving parts in the state of Georgia. Either she gonna have to, you know what? I can't. I don't even want to speculate. She need to be in jail. Lucretia, did y'all see what I saw? Stop letting things that you see with your own eyes bamboozle you, because that's why you have your own 5 senses. And some people got an internal sense.
And she went on to video to tell her friends that what she was doing. I mean, come on. They always tell us what they're doing. But as Christians and conservatives, we think, no, that can't be real. They certainly wouldn't do that. There's no way that's going to happen, because we think like we think, because we're honest people for the most part. I'll say not every Christian is an honest person. That's a whole nother story. If somebody has to tell you they're a Christian to begin with, typically, I'd be afraid of that person. But when it comes to values, you have to listen to your instinct and listen to words, because they will tell you something that they want you to know, because the Luciferian mafia, and it is Luciferian, it's satanic culture, they make sure that you know what they are doing, because that is part of their plan. And they get no satisfaction if you don't know what they're doing, because they need you to accept it as okay, whether it be music, buying Luciferian shoes. Converse just came out with a Luciferian shoe today, which is very sad considering it's, the all-American basketball brand. It's very pathetic, the things that these brands are doing. And Lucretia, I'm going to take off the share. If you'll just, I don't know if you can quit sharing really quick.
Oh, me? No,
Yeah.
I kind of got knocked out and I had to get back in.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I'm not sure. It's saying that I'm still sharing your screen. So I'm going to see if I can quit sharing the screen, because otherwise I'm afraid that that's all that's going to people are going to see. I don't know if they're really going to see us. Not that it really matters, because the information we're given is all good and it's all about America. So your flag background is spectacular. Okay. So let's talk about now Tyler Perry Studios. So Tyler Perry Studios is a little hidden jewel in Atlanta that people have no idea what it's built on. So Lucretia, can you tell us all about Tyler Perry Studios?
Who are these people you don't know that they used to be a military base? That was like the
You don't
biggest
know.
thing that when that first got down here, and I understand why. It not only it brought a lot of economy here, it brought a lot of jobs here, it brought a lot of things here. How do people not know that the state of Georgia gave tax incentives not only to Tyler Perry but to Hollywood? So that is one of the biggest Hollywood recording studio areas here in Georgia. So that's not a shocker. I mean, come on, y'all. This is like Black Hollywood in Atlanta. You can say what you want to say, but Hollywood, this is like their second home. So for people to be shocked at this, it's ridiculous. No wonder we in the boat that we're in, because Tyler Perry had been positioning and propositioning our state for a long time. So
Yes,
I can't
he
knock
has.
that, because you know that helped the economy down there. You can people get mad, say whatever. That thousands of people work there, and you know it brought the money in. But did it bring the riffraff too? Yes, it did. But that's not a shocker. That's actually an incentive, because my niece just graduated Georgia State University in a movie production. So guess what? She don't have to go out of state.
She doesn't have
She
to
can
go
go
out.
somewhere and actually get a job and use her mind and her degree for what it is. So kudos to Tyler Perry for what he did and stepped in and turned that old military base not into a wasteland, but something productive. What he does with it, I don't know.
Have you heard anything about videos being recorded there?
All the movies that I know of is recorded there. His television shows are recorded there. His movies are recorded there. Other people movies and radio and shows are recorded at this film. But in Atlanta and in Georgia alone, you had, what was it? So many, Hunger Games was here. We're getting ready to rent half of our property out, because one half you can literally be in a forest, the other half is just wide open spaces. So if that's something that we can do to actually a side thing for our property, then we're going to do that too.
Absolutely.
Right around the building, right around the street, less than a mile away. If anybody watched Supernatural, some of the scenes of that house was right there. There was another one in Conyers, Georgia, the Vampire Diaries. That inside of that house is less than a half a mile down the street. So if they can use their home to, get that side hustle and live the American dream, we're going to do the same thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've heard some very interesting things are being filmed there here recently that I will put on my Telegram channel, because they're that unbelievable, of just things that could be conspiracy. Now, those could be conspiracy. I know one person.
Take the good with the bad. And you got to remember what Stacey Abrams actually said in one of her speeches at South by Southwest over there. I think it was in Arizona, New Mexico. She said, if I could just get all y'all Hollywood people to come to Georgia, we could win that thing. Won't y'all just pack up and come on over to Georgia? And guess what? A lot of people did.
Yep, they sure did. Yep. She knew exactly what she was doing. She had the support of Oprah. And then Brian Kemp won, or did he? We really don't know, because, with rigged elections, we don't really know who won. So whether her, him, hey, it's probably one and the same at this point, the way it looks. Okay. So Mockingbird Media. What do you think about Mockingbird Media? Do you think people should still be listening to Mockingbird Media, or do you think they should turn off their televisions and see what happens and how they feel without any Mockingbird Media?
I haven't watched television in 7 years. Well, I'm being honest. I
That's
have not.
awesome.
Number one, my mom has her own apartment here. So that's cable. You know, on our shows, we use this one. But when you
Yeah.
step into my sanctuary, which is my home, I don't want that demonic stuff anywhere in there. And I'm not paying two bills at $196 when I don't even cut on the television. So when my grandchildren come over, they come out here with their great grandma and they'll sit there and watch television. But I don't want that negative connotation or listen to that jibber jabber from those people, regardless if it's ABC, CBS, NBC, PBR, CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News, and now Mockingjay, which wasn't even on mine, because when I think of Mockingjay, I'm thinking of the Hunger Games, and I'm in District 13. So I didn't even know that. So no, I don't even watch television. I am the news. I have a show that I do every day, twice a day, most of the days from 5 to 7, where I take articles, their articles, and I put our spin on it, which if it goes against the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, our Judeo-Christian values, I put it out there. If it's Dr. Fructose Corn Syrup, flip-flop Fauci, or whatever you want to call him, I talk about it. If it's about Biden, the CCP, if it's going on across the world, the Hillary Clinton Foundation from Julian Assange to that type of stuff. Because the only difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is 6 months.
That's exactly right. Or sometimes not even that long. Or sometimes it could be a year, you know, but that is very true. I call the television, the television. And if you think about all the terminology that they've used against us, it's entertainment. So they're trying to get into you, like enter your body, into your mind. And then you are watching programs.
I call that bread and circuses.
Yeah.
You just entertain them, give them enough to eat, and they'll be rocked into submission. So that's what you're seeing right now, the wussification of a whole generation within inside of our nation.
That's exactly right. And I see in your background that you have Back the Blue.
Yes.
Which I love.
We just held a rally earlier this year. There was a fallen officer, first time in almost 100 years in Gainesville, Georgia. Well, we did a Back to Blue rally here to raise funds for the widower, and that's all the proceeds that we got. We took the checks to the police station in Hall County, and I presented them with not only a gift basket, because we make our own pillows, hats, t-shirts, and everything else. My mom did, who's a staunch blue dog Democrat growing up, but now she done flipped to my side. So we decided to do that because the cops and the military was getting beat up so much at that time during the summer of love.
Yeah, they certainly are. And I love your shirt says faith over fear, right?
Yes.
Okay, the shirt that you have on, I have to order one of those for sure.
And actually, our rally that's getting ready to come up on September the 11th, we're holding a rally right here, and it's titled Faith Over Fear, God, Family, and Country. Why? Because that's all we've been bombarded with is the fear mongering from those type of people. Then why don't you come here, enjoy not only live acts, speakers from all over the nation. You're going to have free food, the real entertainment, and even probably you're going to get touched by God, because you're going to have ordained ministers here, praise and worship teams, a cover band for patriotic rock and roll. And right now we have 28 speakers, and the list keeps growing.
Where can they get the tickets, Lucretia?
It's Eventbrite, and it's put on by me, my mom, and my husband. So please go to the Eventbrite page. It is literally Faith Over Fear, God, Family, and Country.
Okay. And then how are tickets? Is there a fee for tickets?
Nope. Tickets are free. If you the tickets are free. It's at our house. If you want to donate, please do. People been sending, so far we've raised about $900. Well, we know I could flip $900 because me and my mom could cater. So it's going to be hot dogs and hamburgers, the chips and the works, the whoopie pies, the green bean cakes, banana pudding. We're going to do this. And it's going to be from 1
I may try to come to this. I'm going to be in Georgia at the time.
You want to speak?
Huh? I'll come and speak for you.
We even got Pastor Greg Locke. He can't be here because he's going to do something else, but he called me and said, "I will do a video."
I can't fill his shoes, but I'll be glad to help you however I can. Seriously. And speaking of which, how can other people get involved with helping? If somebody wants to bring, I know that you're probably very cautious with the food, especially with the honey,
you can have a potluck if you want to. You just go ahead and get you have all my information out there. People's like, you just doing this. I've been doing this for 12 years. No one pays me and my husband anything to travel around the United States, shooting documentaries, going speeches, trying to motivate people, because I'm 47 and a grandmother, and I know what my why is. And my why is to save my nation, because we, the people, been telling you so. The higher, this, that, the overbearing. So if I got to walk by myself and walk with my husband by my side, then guess what? I'm going to do that. And I'm going to proclaim God, family, and my country, and no one can stop us on our property. So I'm going to do it right here. And I'm straight Second Amendment. And I always keep telling these little death threats and stuff. Try it if you want to. I live in a sanctuary county. I has no problem of being carried, judged by 12 instead of carried by 6. I'm going to save my nation, protect my elderly, and make sure that our grandchildren have a future.
That's exactly right. That's exactly the reason I'm even doing what I'm doing, Lucretia. As we spoke off camera before we even started, Lucretia and I just met today. I saw one of her videos, like I said, and I was just like, you know what? There's a woman that I want to know. I want to interview her. I want to help her get her message out in any way, shape, or form. I know I'm being shadow banned right now on Facebook, but you know what? If 300 or 500 people see it, it's better than nothing.
Well, you come on over here with us, because I had to diversify because I kept getting knocked off Facebook. So what we decided to do is start our own media company. We are Fallback Productions, LLC. My husband, my mother, and me, to compete with the lamestream media. I have a national press pass. Hard work, people. Hard work, hard work. So all those people that say we'll never amount to anything, well, guess what? I fooled you. So if you want to come and join us, we're part of Atu Media, which is another independent media network. He's on Fire Stick, Roku, and Amazon. There's over
I'll be glad to.
People that watches me on a daily basis, and 600 urban area radio and television. So if I'm touching the poor Blacks, the poor whites, the Hispanics, the hoods and the woods, and even suburbia, do you come and join our team too?
Listen, I'll be glad to do whatever you need me to do. I mean, I love what you're doing. I'll support you 110%. Speaking of support, if there are people out there that want to monetarily support you, how can they do that?
Dave.
Yeah.
He said he is throwing the links up in the chat. Yes.
Yeah, and I'll be sure to put them. I'll be sure to put them below so everybody can go and comment.
And I always say this. This is rally number 8. I started this on seriously a Samsung 7 on a suction cup and a saucer. And over the last 3.5 years, because tonight it is episode 957. People have donated to help us get our own studio. People have helped us to get around the United States. And people even paid my way to get on a plane and a hotel to stand right there in front of Donald J. Trump, 10 feet away at the African-American, whatever, bad gala up there. And I want to say thank you, because I want to make sure not only do I represent for the red, yellow, black, white, gay, straight, Jew, and Gentile, but I hear, well done, my good and faithful servant.
Amen, sister. And listen, I thank you for doing that, because there's so many people like yourselves that's been out there for so long. What would you do to encourage a younger audience, or anybody, or not, I shouldn't even say younger audience, but even like other people like myself, because I kept hearing people like, I'll give her a shout out, Mel K and Ann Vandersteel, and other patriots that were, like, hey, just get in and, have your own show or whatever. And they kept, and I had to hear them a long time, because it's not something I really wanted to do. I wanted to get the word out, and I wanted to get the message out. And I feel like everybody needs to hear it from somebody that they can relate to. And we can't just sit back and be silent. So, or do you have any recommendations for people, or are you guys
jump out here and God swings your instead of walking around with eyes wide shut, and he finally let the scales fall off? The first thing, if you want to get involved, then you stand up. You start going to meetings. Everybody was like, well, I gotta, yes, because you can't change anything from the outside. You got to get in the inside.
Let's tell them what kind of meetings. They're city council.
I started with the Tea Party. That's where I started. My big step after I came back from the trucker, the biker, and the veterans rally, I went up there by myself because my son is an Air Force vet. My father is Vietnam, and my stepfather was Vietnam. So I decided, you know what, you can't keep doing our veterans like this. And that's what Veterans is what woke me up. And once the veterans did it, I kept hearing about the Tea Party. Okay, I'm gonna really learn about the Constitution, Tea Party. So when I started going there, they said, Lucretia, not only do you need to stay a part of us, you need to join the Republican Party. And if you want to run for office, which I did, I decided to get up and run for office. Instead of waiting for an invitation to be set at the table, pull that chair out yourself. But when you sit there, make sure that you hear, you research, you get knowledge, and you understand. So, and guard your heart, because it's a lot of nasty people out here that will rather kill you than hear you.
Exactly. And the other thing I want to say to somebody who is actually considering running for office is don't think that you're going to know everything, or that you have to know how the city runs, or how if you are part of the way good in business at all, or you're working for a big corporation and you can leave your job and run for office, I highly encourage anybody because you can always hire consultants, you can hire people that are better at things than you are. But at least, we have some good patriots in.
And stop even looking at it that way, because I'm sick of that too. Okay. Start at the grassroots people. That's your next door neighbor. Getting out there, knocking, talking to people, asking them, what are your concerns? Because we all got pretty much the same kitchen table issues. So when you start really getting out there with the grassroots, because I never say go top first, because you need us. We knock on those doors. We contribute their money to them. So you start out, because once you stand up, you are the grassroots. Then you start linking arms and hands and networking with fellow people that are grassroots members too. And my analogy is, what you may be a lone bee, but once you start trying to join a hive, there's more of you. They cannot ignore us all. So you link hands with people, and that's what it means, being equally yoked with someone that believes in what you do, and y'all all stand together. And that's what you're seeing at these school council meetings. That's what you see at these school board meetings. That's what you're seeing. I don't care how anybody want to present January the 6th. That's what that was really about. But we seen the videos behind the scenes. We saw the police escorting, and we saw all that. I said, if those 1 million people that was up there in Washington really wanted to wreck the place, no one would have stopped them.
Nobody. Exactly right. My mother was there, and we did a video. So if anybody, I'll put the video link of her testimony of exactly what happened in DC. She testified to even watching the DC police, or the Capitol Police, out behind the Capitol. She wasn't in front of the Capitol. She was only behind the Capitol, and they were snickering, laughing. They were not in a hurry to go and save anybody from anything.
No. And I got 2 strikes, my second strike from YouTube, because I was showing the original videos of them being waved upstairs, the barricades being moved out of the way. There was one patriot saying, you ain't gonna stop this, or you not gonna stop this. And they just sitting there on the back of the wall. But we also know it came out after the Capitol Police chief, or whatever you want to call captain, resigned. There was a document that was out there that said they requested it way in advance, 6 different times, not only from Nancy Pelosi, but also Bauer. So I'm proud of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm glad she took what I asked her to do, which is really look into what's going on with those prisoners up there in that jail. So people can't sit here and tell me you can't reach out to your politicians or your representatives, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is standing up there strong.
Exactly. And then they went after people like Brandon Straka, who have voices.
Okay, now he put his own self up in there. That's his voice on that video. He should not have did that. Take the shell. We gonna check. Dude, are you stupid? You are like boom coon #1 right now on TV every day. Do you not know they've been trying to take you down, and you just gave them the whole plate and platter at the same time?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why did you go up in there and then record it at the?
I said, listen, Lucretia, honestly, I would have probably been right there with him. I'd have probably been the guy banging the gavel and
listen to yourself. Everything that since we've been talking, the Holy Spirit wouldn't allowed you to happen. That he would not allowed you. Your whole internal instincts would have been like,
he didn't allow me to go. He didn't allow me to go. He did not allow me to go. Every time I went to book a ticket, the tickets, they would say like $200, and I would go to book, and it'd come up to like $1,800. And I'm like, what? Why does this keep happening? And I took it. I knew. I was like, he does not want me to go. My mom
I
kept
got
saying,
invited 4 times, and me and my husband was like, "You want to go? I don't feel right. It don't feel something's gonna
right,
happen up there, and I don't want to be
exactly.
involved. Let's just show it on our shows."
Yep.
And boom, everything in me said, "Nope, you're not going."
Good for you. Good for you. And I didn't either. So, and fortunately my mom got nowhere near the Capitol other than the backside and was able to see really how the police were acting, which was very strange. Their phones were completely shut off so that
Yep.
they were not allowed to record anything. She couldn't even record on her device. It was very, very awkward. So all of this is a planned attack, and we have to know that we could be ushered into other things where you need to stay away from any kind of violence whatsoever, and anything that could be perceived as violence, because they are after the rest of us.
Yes, they are.
I've said to everyone, just, stay digitally. And I'm going to say, if you want to see the videos that Lucretia is talking about, I'm going to put them up on my Telegram channel so that you guys can go there, and it's Patriots Perspective. You can drop, you can comment, and I'll give you the link, because I know Telegram's not as easy to operate for a lot of people. And even though it's Russian, we're all still there right now.
Well, that's the only one that we know that we can actually say what we want to say right now. This is what I mean by diversify, people.
Yeah.
Stop. Just, you got to understand, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, they're not the only people out there. Yes, they can knock us down, but diversify to MeWe,
That's
Gitter,
exactly.
and a whole Gab. There's many other out there, because sooner or later, we're not going to be able to use their platforms. So we're going to have to start diversifying right now.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because, listen, where there's one, I only post, one thing right now is on Telegram. So we'll just keep moving and hopping, because trust me, we're out there. We're not going anywhere. You just have to find us. You have to search. I say, if you just even search for my name, you'll find me in some way. It may be like another business site, but we'll respond with any questions that anybody has. And definitely make sure that you don't fall for what the enemy has in store. Lucretia, I really enjoyed chatting with you, sister. And listen, I really we'll be in touch afterwards to figure out exactly what we can do. But in closing, for our audience here today, do you have any other things that you want them to know, or anything?
You know what? If you want to come out to Faith Over Fear, be with like-minded individuals, get pumped up, relearn what the Constitution is, and just be around fellow patriots, conservatives, and Republicans. And say, folks, y'all come out on September the 11th from 1 to 7. You could go to the Eventbrite. Also on Facebook, you could go to the Faith Over Fear rally, God, Family, and Country, and register there. But we survive by donations and actually making our own merchandise. So if you want to support us, she's going to put the links up, but also go to Etsy, Fallback USA. You can either take it, fall back to the Bible, fall back to the Constitution, or take 6 feet and get out my place. No, it's just 6 feet, 6 feet. So fall back.
And I thank you for that, Lucretia. And if anybody's looking to support me in any way, you can go to christytasker.com. I have like fashion earrings. These are the toilet paper earrings. It's the only kind of toilet paper I'm going to be like going after. Okay?
I thought it was for the snowflakes and the liberals when they start crying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wear things like this because they're good conversational pieces to get things started and get good conversation started. I also have the Patriots Freedom Collection coming out. So you can do that, or you can also make a donation on patriotsperspective.com. And all that does is support us to be able to get up the videos, get out the articles. I'm going through all of Lynn Wood's testimonials from that he has had done from Secret Service people that are calling out a lot of people, such as even Justice Roberts and our former VP.
You're gonna bring that one up.
Yeah, you might want to go to Patriots Perspective and check that one out.
No, you don't. You just go over there to Jeffrey Epstein flight log. You'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got that posted too. So anybody that wants to see the Jeffrey Epstein flight log, the Fauci emails, the Fauci emails, and what he really tells his friends about wearing muzzles, please go to patriotsperspective.com. It's right there in the open. There's also a lot of scientific information regarding this. And I'm also about to post a letter that you can send, a letter template that you can send to your employer before they even decide they want to do anything, just informing them of the Nuremberg Code, your rights, and your religious beliefs. Because if you believe in this book, which is the best-selling book of all time, which is the Bible, sorry. Yep,
And that
this one.
too.
Yep. I have mine labeled bestseller. If you believe in the bestseller, you cannot take it. Sorry, folks. I hate to break it to you, but and if you've already taken it, there are solutions that I'm going to post on Patriots Perspective too, because there are doctors out there that are trying to inform you of, you know, how to help rid some of the symptoms out of your body that you may be experiencing. So thank you very much, Lucretia. Thank you for being here. And I hope that you'll come on again. We'll see how many people actually like this video and share it. You're welcome to share it on your channel, share it wherever you want. Anybody can take it. You can swipe it. I don't care. We're not making any money off of this whatsoever. And we just want to get the word out. So whatever you need to do, share it on TikTok. You have my permission. Lucretia, did they have your permission to share?
Absolutely. You can share.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Peace out, and let's stay free.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ending the recording now.